want to focus on is how much is this impacting day-to-day functioning? Are they able to do the things that they want or need to do with some regularity, right? So thinking about an adolescent or a child who maybe from time to time is saying, I feel really overwhelmed. I don't really know if I want to hang out with my friends today, or I didn't really want to participate in class today. I felt really uncomfortable, right? That's sort of what we would call normal anxiety, as opposed to maybe a more consistent or persistent pattern of avoidance, of isolation, of drop in grades, or difficulty being able to do the things that are expected or needed to be done. Paired with, we could also talk about some intense physical symptoms that tend to present themselves with social anxiety as well. So for some children and adolescents, the social anxiety might be so overwhelming that they may also experience panic attacks or panic symptoms. And again, we're checking in there around physical symptoms, nausea, sweaty palms, racing heart, difficulty breathing, and we can manage that through the use of some coping skills and communicating effectively with people that support us. So what social anxiety typically might look like in children and adolescents when we're thinking about avoidance or fear? Like I said, either some children and adolescents are actively avoiding versus engaging in some of these social situations while experiencing a tremendous amount of anxiety and discomfort. This may also be like specific classes based on content, based on teacher, based on the amount of students in the classroom, ordering food at a restaurant, ordering food when they're at Starbucks, ordering food at a drive-through, presentations in class, making small talk. This can be really difficult for children and adolescents with social anxiety, right? Knowing when to initiate a conversation, how to maintain a conversation, and ultimately how to wrap up a conversation. Maintaining eye contact for some, it's even just a second of eye contact. For some, it's extended periods of time. Initiating plans with friends, right? Being the one to say, hey, do you want to hang out today? Let's meet up here. What's everyone doing this weekend? Maybe scheduling or meeting with teachers individually can be really difficult, or reaching out to teachers via email, asking questions. Eating in public can also be really hard for children and adolescents with social anxiety. So this could come up in a cafeteria setting, out to eat with friends, even at home sometimes, as well as using public restrooms. So this list could probably go on, but just some really common examples of how this might present itself with children and adolescents. We also talked through the panic and the physical symptoms, which again, we know that if we're experiencing those physical symptoms, which usually are very uncomfortable, that can also enable more avoidance, right? If I know that I might experience these really uncomfortable physical symptoms, I don't want to experience those in front of other people. That then leads to more avoidance around the fear of judgment. We also might see some anticipatory anxiety prior to social events or interactions, right? Lots of what ifs and fears about specifically what could happen. You know, we also tend to get a lot of questions about like, what's the difference between social anxiety or being shy? And I think just to note that certainly plenty of children and adolescents who are socially anxious present as quote unquote shy or quiet, or can fly under the radar in group settings from the perspective of not wanting to draw attention to themselves. But again, like this could also look like crying and tantrums and clinging behavior, refusal to speak, especially in children. And I think just noting as far as red flags or maybe changes over time, we really want to highlight significant avoidance or maybe a dramatic shift or change in behaviors, decrease in grades or difficulty attending school regularly, maybe a change in areas of interest, or your child or adolescent may say like, I really do want to go to soccer, and the reason I'm not going is I am so uncomfortable, I'm so fearful of judgment. And just noting that when we talk about social anxiety versus shyness, that shyness is more like a temperament, right? This is sort of maybe how we have been historically. It's about comfort level and less about that specific fear of judgment.